Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's just two movies.
All right. I guess let's go ahead and fucking kick it off. Kick it off into fucking... I don't know. I was trying to come up with a joke. I couldn't think of anything.
Worked for me.
Okay. We are back. Welcome to another episode of It's Just Two Movies. My name is Daniel King. In the studio with me this evening, Jeremy Jones.
Hey, thanks.
What's up, bro?
Man, I'm just hanging out.
Been a little bit.
Yeah. February. Well... For you at home, April, but
right.
February since I was back on.
Yeah. It's nice to have you back in the studio, man. Been a little bit.
Yeah.
Been a little bit.
Happy to be here.
If you're not familiar with the show, what we do is we watch two movies. One of them, at least one of us is like, hey, I like this movie. You should check it out. The other one, we're shooting for it's so bad it's good. But sometimes they're just actually quite good. Sometimes they're just bad.
I think this one's quite good.
Okay, good. I like a quite good schlocky horror rubber thing with some.
You think you're ready? You're not ready.
KY jelly and that sort of shit. I'm very excited. But this week we already watched The Men Who Stare at Goats, as a R-rated 2009 comedy war film. Comedy war film?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah,
hilarious.
All right. What is it good for, Absolutely nothing. 1 hour, 34-minute runtime. It's got a 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb, 51% on Rotten Tomatoes, and some say 80% of Google users like this movie. Release date November 6, 2009, directed by Grant Heslov. Adapted from The Men Who Stare at Goats, I guess, a book. Budget of $24 million US, box office $69 million. Distributed by Momentum Pictures. Stars George Clooney, Ewan McGregor, Jeff Bridges, Kevin Spacey, dickbag. Bob Gunton, is he even in that?
Stephen Root's in it.
Stephen Root is in it. Yeah, Stephen Lang is also in it.
Yes.
Nick Offerman, I was like, oh man,
yeah,
that was a delight to see a clean shaven ish Nick Offerman. That's about it. I mean, that's your base cast anyway. There's a couple other people in there. I wouldn't even say they're really worth mentioning. Maybe the guy that plays, let me see if I can find him. Walid Zuatir, yeah. He plays Muhammad.
Okay, yeah.
Just a guy that they run into. He's in the movie a bit,
exchange.
Though. Yeah. So, I mean, Jeremy, for anybody that hasn't seen this movie, spoiler-free, what would you just say that it's about?
So Ewan McGregor is a reporter who kind of gets sent on this somewhat bullshit-sounding investigation by his editor, but uncovers that there was a group of army-trained, funded people trying to engage in, psychological warfare, using telepathy, out-of-body
This is like
experiences.
It's like when they declassify a military file and it goes out into the public and people go, are you fucking serious? Our government spent how much money on that?
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. Also, I wish Ewan McGregor narrated my life.
Is that who you want to narrate your life?
Oh, God, maybe. He's so boyish. I feel like I would just always feel like I was on the brink of adventure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
the irony is not lost on me that okay, we'll come back to it. I'll circle back to what I was getting ready to say. There's some fun stuff in here, though. I think. Now, this is one, I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to say, here's what happens in the movie, and then we'll just go back and talk about the things that we liked, because at an hour and a half, it's brisk.
Yeah.
It's a brisk film. So yeah, you have Ewan McGregor. He gets sent on this fucking wild goose chase. He's a journalist. He meets Stephen Root. Stephen Root's like, oh man, you should, wow, I'm crazy psychic.
but you should talk to this guy. He's way more psychic than I am.
You should talk to the sexiest man on earth, George Clooney. Gorg Clooney. Yeah, he's the most talented psi agent that Stephen Root's ever met. This just it's so goofy. This whole thing, it's having a little bit of fun. It's not taking itself too seriously, which I like a lot. It's got I don't know. How would you describe just the disposition of this film? It's apart from having a bit of fun, I don't like the whole thing's kind of light.
It is. In a way, it's odd because it's like, oh, isn't this kind of weird and quirky and like fun? But at the same time, it's like part of me is thinking like, how much money did they spend on this?
A lot. Yeah, quite a bit.
Is this the type of shit they're still doing now?
And that's it. Yeah.
This money from the Pentagon just like, oh, it disappeared. It's like in the ether.
Right. So the story is fucking bonkers. Jeff Bridges. I don't know if I said Jeff Bridges was in this. He's also in this.
He's the commander of the unit.
God, he's fucking fantastic. He's just playing the dude.
Yeah.
Kind of. Pretty damn close. A hippie for sure. But not the dude. They are distinctly different characters.
Dude is not a hippie.
No, he's just the dude.
Yeah.
But this guy's kind of dudey.
I don't know. He is the dude during that trip hallucination with the Kenny Rogers, like,
yep.
You know, that's him throughout the duration when he goes on this vision. He goes on Jeff Bridges' character was in Vietnam, was shot upon landing. They kind of talk about how new recruits most of the time don't try to shoot to kill because they're too nervous, scared, which
they don't want to kill somebody.
Understandable.
Well, I can relate. I don't want to kill anybody.
Yeah. And so he kind of has this vision while he's being treated about like, there's a different way. You have to find it. So he somehow convinces the military, I'm going to start this new non-combative unit. It's going to engage in like psychic warfare. And they say, okay, because there's rumors that, the rumor is like, Russians heard we're doing it, so now they're doing it, even though we're not actually doing it. So now we should really do it because we have to be better than the Russians.
Exactly. So that's why this program exists. So in the middle of all this, you have Ewan McGregor. He goes and he's a reporter, he's a journalist. So he goes and he talks to Stephen Root about a story, and he's like, yeah, this guy's a fucking whack job. And then his wife leaves him, and she's like, whatever, you're not, you're kind of a pussy. You're not going to go to Iraq or whatever.
Which is, I don't think it was even that. I think she's just like, you are complacent. And so he's like, well, I'm going to go to this is 2002 invasion of Iraq and, 2003. And she's like, well, I'll show you. Like,
yeah, it's out of spite.
Yeah.
So when he gets there,
or proving himself,
he bumps into George Clooney, recognizes the name on his name tag as a name dropped by Stephen Root's character, and he's like, holy shit, you're fucking George Clooney. Do you know Stephen Root? And he just like fucking gets real wide-eyed, gets up and takes off. So he chases him down. He's like, look, man, tell me your story. I'm a journalist or whatever. So he starts telling him about all this fucking crazy shit. I used to work for the government, and it's fucking unofficial, but I'm a PsyOps warrior, a Jedi, fucking New World soldier.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, this is fucking crazy. He's like, well, I'm here. This is the cover. I'm not actually going to the convention. I'm going to Iraq. And he's like, well, let me tag along with you because I'm trying to get into Iraq.
Yeah.
And him and George Clooney pal around, and the stories keep getting more and more extreme until they are effectively stranded in the desert. Mm-hmm. And he's with George Clooney, who's like, I'm psychic. Don't worry about it. I know where we're going. And they eventually get fucking, is it rescued by helicopter? But they're like a quarter mile from the. I mean, like they almost walked there.
They get out of a couple hairy situations thanks to Clooney's military training, but then
it's chance. They get out of some sticky situations by chance.
But then,
Clooney's like, I did that. That was me.
But then they do end up in the desert, stranded, and are later rescued. And throughout this whole time, there is kind of flashbacks of how the unit was started, what they actually did. Clooney's character apparently located somebody who was like kidnapped. In Italy.
Yeah.
Which I kind of, that's something, I mean, I tried to look a little bit into this. I didn't want to read the book in like a day. But,
no, yeah. We're not doing that much research here. Listen,
this isn't that thought out.
Ewan McGregor is a journalist. We are not journalists. Well, I'm certainly not. I'm just like, oh, like movies and beer and boobies.
It's the three.
Some say the trifecta.
2 B's, 1 M.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The double BM. Bowel movement? No.
Okay. Well,
yeah, anyway.
You like this too.
Yeah. Boner and bowel movement. But yeah, so they get rescued close to their quote unquote destination, and fucking huge piece of shit's there, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing here? Did you?"
So they get rescued. It turns out that they're at they call it like psychological. It's psyops, but it's psychological operations.
Yeah.
And it turns out Kevin Spacey, who basically got Jeff Daniels kicked out of the service for this shit he pulled.
Jeff Bridges.
It's kind of taken over. Who did I say?
Jeff Daniels, which also would be fun.
It is. Everybody, so I can do Bill Paxton, Bill Pullman all day. There's something about the Bridges Daniels. I can't cross that bridge when I get to it.
Same. I've done it many times.
But what kind of turns out is that, you know, they're like, oh, we are kind of using some of the techniques and shit, and turns out they're using like torture. It's like Abu Ghraib. Is that like was that the detention center where they were torturing prisoners
by making them listen to the fucking Barney song?
Yeah,
Marilyn Manson,
24 hours a day with like strobing lights. Like it's psychological warfare they're doing on them to get them to talk.
Yeah,
they were like
pretty fucked up.
Taking like pictures of them and like humiliating them. It was like pretty. I think that came out in like 03, 04.
I did just try to drink my vape so everybody knows.
2004.
I put it up to my lips and tipped it. And that's fucking crazy shit. So there's a grain of truth to all this, although the main story I think is just wildly embellished.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he's trying to remote view or whatever, young George Clooney, and they're like, all right, you're looking for a diplomat. Just see if you can find him. He's holding a picture of him, and he's like, he's in a village in Italy next to a cinema. Across the street, there's a restaurant. No, a cafe. The name of the town is something sweet.
Yeah.
Dulce. And evidently that was on the nose, although they never come out and say it.
That one was, because then he was like the Wonder Kid, but then
they
there was
have another guy that's
the replacement who's like, ask Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, and he's like,
she didn't know.
The general or whatever comes back, and he's like, yeah, we asked Angela Lansbury. She didn't fucking know.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a murder involved, I would have, you could ask Angela Lansbury. She might have some input on that.
Well, she's like the J.B. Fletcher's the Archangel of Death, so I feel like she's the one who brings it.
You think so?
I'm actually working my way through Murder, She Wrote. I'm on the tail end of season 7.
God, you were working your way through Murder, She Wrote last time you were here.
Well, because I just watch it like when I have time.
Oh, so
like not.
It's a labor of love.
Yeah, there are 12 seasons, so I have.
I
am at past the halfway point, but
buddy, I used to watch a fuck ton of Murder, She Wrote, and I don't know that I've ever watched a whole episode start to finish.
Dude, I mean,
it just was on TV all the fucking time.
Yes, it was. But real quickly, because the whole thing is, most of it is Jessica traveling. She's meeting friends. She's doing signings. She's kind of, she is a best-selling author who is on the go.
Having some
tea. Minus the Cabot Cove, episodes, which is her hometown. But she, it's like if you're at a social function, you meet J.B. Fletcher, Jessica Fletcher, you better get the fuck out of that building because you might be dead.
Right.
Because there's always somebody dying when she's around. always.
Yeah, that's how I felt about
seasons worth.
God, what was that fucking show called? I think it's on Peacock or something. It's got that redheaded gal in it. It's kind of got a raspy voice.
Yeah, that was Poker Face.
Poker Face, yeah, kind of same situation there.
We attempted to talk about it last time, but I think I was on a different planet.
Just stop talking. Just stop going places, and stop stopping and seeing people because somebody dies everywhere you go.
I mean, that's the whole gist of these, detective shows. But
how done it?
So Murder, She Wrote is how they did it, who done it. Columbo. So Poker Face is Columbo.
Yeah,
and it's how I hate the term for it, but it's like how he gets them.
Yeah,
how they get them, where they show you how the murder's done, what the crimes are, and then they go like, "Here's how they're gonna." Then
here's how.
The joy is like
the episode normally starts with somebody committing the crime.
Yeah, or you may not see the full one. Like there's that one with. Oh, what's his name?
Oh, yeah, and
Phil Tippett, like the Phil Tippett inspired episode.
Just one more thing.
Just one more thing.
Now, Columbo, on the other hand, I used to watch a shitload of. Anyway, let's get back on track with the men who don't look at their notes. So that's the story. That's what happens. Is Kevin Spacey's trying to get George Clooney to be like, "Hey, come back, baby.
Like, we're getting the band back together." Even though
Baby, come back. I don't know how the rest of the song goes.
Any kind of fool could see that Spacey was wrong. And
there he was.
That's all I got.
Yeah, there he was. So essentially, George Clooney's kind of given up, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm defeated. It's over."
Well, and he has cancer.
He also has cancer, yeah, but he's getting defeatist. He hasn't been defeatist the whole time, but he's defeatist now. And Ewan McGregor and fucking Jeff Bridges.
There you go.
There we go. Got it. Had to think about it for a second. And Jeff Bridges are like, let's figure out a way to fucking get back at this place. George Clooney's really upset that they are doing this like psychological torture here.
Yes.
Because it's the dark side of what he's been doing, what he's been trained for his whole life.
The military taking the worst aspects of something? No.
Yeah.
America doing that? No.
Fuck yeah. Coming again to make you listen to Barney for 24 hours straight. Yeah. America. So Ewan McGregor and Jeff Bridges devise a plan. They're like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We are going to spike the eggs and the water supply.
It was originally just the eggs.
Right. Originally just the eggs, but also in the water supply with LSD. And when everybody in the entire military compound is tripping fucking balls, we're going to release those POWs.
Yeah. And the goats.
We
didn't explain the reason why it's called The Men Who Stare at Goats is because they use goats as test subjects to try to stop their hearts.
George Clooney, the Wonder Kid.
I think they had a couple people who were, they had a couple people training to do it. George Clooney's the only one that ever actually happened. And of course the idea is like, once you do enough animal testing, then you move on to people.
Yeah. If you have somebody that can just stop a person's heart by staring at him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what happens in the movie. What did and didn't you like about it?
So, and I get that it's based on a book, and apparently it got like some type of BBC miniseries in a way, which I was reading on Wikipedia.
I'd be interested to check that out.
Sure, absolutely.
It's a wild fucking story.
It is. It was a lot of. I mean, it's just constant narration, and I know that's like, it's a journalist, and it's doing all this shit, but it was just kind of, I don't know, I got a little, I don't like having my hand held the whole time.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it does feel that way pretty heavily, I think, about halfway through. It gets, like, after they're done getting shot at and shit, and they escape and they're going back on their road trip, I'm like, all right, let's pick up the pace a little. Like, you don't have to literally tell me every little fucking teeny tiny thing. I think the strong bits of this movie are mostly casting related.
Oh, sure.
I really like Ewan McGregor as the narrator.
Yeah.
I really like George Clooney. I like George Clooney kind of doing a comedic role without trying to be like rom-com leading man type of thing. I like him just being kind of a buffoon.
Have you?
It's giving. Ooh, it's oh brother, where art thou? Kind of vibes.
I was
for
thinking
Clooney.
of a different Coen Brothers film he did.
Which one?
Intolerable Cruelty, which you could maybe view as a rom-com, but I never did.
Would you view it as a comedy?
Oh, no, wait, that's not the one. He did do that one, but what's the one where they're like killing little old ladies?
Oh God, that movie sucks. It's got Tom Hanks in it.
The Lady Killers.
Yeah, I think it is
Wait,
called
is
The Lady
George
Killers.
Clooney not in that?
I don't think George Clooney's in that.
Oops.
That's Tom Hanks.
Is he
and he's playing like a Kentucky Fried
You're
gentleman.
right. Is he in Burn After Reading? Clooney?
Is he in Burn After Reading?
Boy, this is fun.
I was not. This is entertainment right here, folks.
I did my research.
I don't know if he was in Burn After Reading. Clooney? God, it's like all I can think of is fucking Brad Pitt in that movie. as the fucking fitness instructor. That was one of those Coen flicks that, like, when it came out, boy, I was severely disappointed.
Oh, guess who is in Burn After Reading? George Clooney.
Nice.
So
I thought you were going to say George Ballooney, just a different man with the first name George.
Greg Flooney.
Ooh.
That's what I kind of got more of his performance in this one, but the tone of it in a way reminded me of actually another George Clooney directed film and that he co-starred in, where possibly based on a true story.
All Hail Caesar?
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Oh, I do like that movie.
Yeah.
That's a good flick.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
And I also like, I also like All Hail Caesar, and it's got the same kind of vibe going for it as this does, I think. There's a certain Clooney when he gets in that lane and you're just like, okay, I'm just in for like a fun time with this weird eccentric guy who's kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
But not totally an idiot.
Yeah. Well, the movie does a very good job of being like, well, maybe he's right. I mean, and it changes points of view, like when he's looking at the clouds, trying to like do the cloud forming thing, and it's moving.
It's
like
cloud bursting keeps me in shape.
Yeah.
Fucking lunatic.
Was there something that didn't work for you in the movie?
Man, a lot of it was that fucking middle section. A lot of it's like, I hate. Okay, so this is a part of an unusual thing for me is like, I fucking hate when you get just a guy that's a straight up fucking Looney Tune that's like, listen, man, you don't know, brother. That's what they want you to think. Look, the government's lying to you. You can actually do things like fucking pass through solid matter. It's all in your mind. It's not, because it's basic physics, and it insults, like, because I've met people like that and they fucking infuriate me.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell them they're wrong. You're the idiot. No matter what.
Absolutely.
No matter what kind of information or like rock solid evidence you have, you're an idiot. You're sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fucking obnoxious. So that there is a portion of this that I dislike just because of my existing predisposition to not like that. However, goddamn, George Clooney's charming.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that in the past 7-8 years, the idea of kind of conspiracy theories and government meddling has been sullied pretty badly by pretty honestly stupid and fucked up conspiracies.
Yeah.
I used to kind of.
You're talking about like how people have like kind of ruined conspiracy theories.
Okay. I'm gonna start with like if you go back like the past 6-8 years, the conspiracy theories have taken a really dark, pretty cynical, and kind of like just a really shitty turn, and it's like
parts I would say like laughably paranoid.
Yes, and it's. I don't know if you watch like the Into the Q documentary that was on HBO, Into the Storm.
I haven't seen that one, no. I like a conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
because I tell you what, some of them, probably true.
Sure, but it's like the whole they're eating babies and like bathing in their blood.
The
It's
adrenochrome.
It is so... And that they say it with a straight face, but you can't, like you're saying, you can't tell people that, they're wrong, because people have a harder time admitting they're wrong and having to be like, oh, I need to like change my, because they go so all in on it.
My favorite, I do like this though, when you get somebody like that, just keep asking them questions, and because you can tell when they've run out of fake shit to say, they start making more shit up on the spot.
Yeah.
That's quite rewarding.
But I
do
used
like
to
that.
dabble. Like I used to have a couple drinks and watch, reruns of Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. I never took any of it seriously.
No, hell yeah. No, some conspiracy theories are fun. Can be fun, exactly. But man, at some level, when somebody's like just dead set on the aliens built the pyramids, but like that's just insulting to the people that built the pyramids, man.
And so that's something kind of interesting I heard somewhat recently, is that how like racist conspiracy theories are, because you have all these ancient civilizations that are not white people who are doing all these like incredible things.
Right.
And it's like, how did they do it? Could they do it on their own?
It's hard work is how. Hard work in mathematics.
I saw something, it was on like PBS about ancient architecture and how they would do these ornate carvings and stuff, and what they would do with the stone is they would start at the bottom of it, because I mean these things are like huge, like 10 stories plus high.
Oh yeah.
How did they get up there? They didn't have the quote unquote technology to know how to do it. So they would start at the bottom, carving. The shavings would pile up, so they would stand on it, and that's how they would get up there. Is they would use these, and I was like, see, that's
not stupid.
That's educational as well.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I was like, holy shit, I never knew that.
Yeah, they chisel this giant column and then just, hey, I'm done. Sweep all this shit up.
Yes. And then it's like, okay, well, now we need to sweep some shit over here so I can get up there and keep going.
Yeah, you're just fucking insulting people, man. Like a cave people etched shit in stone. Yeah. It's not that crazy.
But what if it was aliens?
But what if cavemen lived for so long because they were eating baby adrenochrome and staring at saber-toothed tigers until their hearts stopped? I don't know, man. I think this is a fun movie. It kind of walks the line between shit I don't like, and shit that I like. It's not like I'm like, I find it morally offensive. I find that it insults my intelligence, and it's an exercise in futility. That's what I don't like about it.
I think it's like not quite there.
It's not. Yeah. It walks. It walks that line.
Yeah.
And it walks it just far enough on the side of like, yeah, but this is a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that I do like.
I
think the action is like okay. There's not a ton of action in it. But I also appreciate the historical parts of this that are accurate or borrowed from different multiple stories. I don't know if these are all borrowed from the same instance, but I do know some of them are. I mean, like, when he's like, he fucking falls out of that helicopter and he's like, oh, he falls off that thing and he's like, I saw Dennis Leary. And he's like, Dennis Leary's dead. And he's like, I know.
Falls off that guard tower.
Oh, that's a trip, though. You believe the government gave all that guy all that money just to trip acid and jerk off a dolphin?
Oh, I saw that on Drunk History. Yeah.
That's true.
I know.
That's not a conspiracy.
I don't think the government knew he was like, they were like pleasuring dolphins, but
hell yeah. Well, that's how you get a dolphin to cooperate. Oddly enough, it's how you get me to cooperate.
Yeah, like, okay, that's how they took care of women who were in hysterics.
When my wife's like, hey, take out the trash, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I could be persuaded.
30 seconds later, you're taking the trash out. Wow.
30 seconds later, I'm jerking off a dolphin, and then I get the dolphin to take out the trash.
Even better.
So, would you? Let's go. I think we've talked enough about it. It's a pretty brisk film.
Yeah.
If you want to check it out right now, it's on HBO. You can go ahead and stream it. I saw a thing that said it was also on Hulu. I didn't see it on Hulu. It's on HBO ad free.
Yeah.
Pretty fun flick, I think. I mean, if it's one that you missed It's an hour and a half. It's kind of a fun jaunt, and it's interesting enough. Don't take it too seriously, but several of the things that happened in this movie did for real happen. Like an entire military base was like roofied with LSD. That did happen.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty humorous. God, it would take a lot of fucking acid to drug that many people. There's a lot of motherfuckers.
That's a lot of LSD.
Yeah, sure is.
But I guess when you put it in the water, that's kind of a lot easier.
I like it when Kevin Spacey's like he's gonna shoot fucking Clooney. Spacey's gonna shoot him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, put the gun down. And then he puts the gun in his mouth. And then he takes the gun out of his mouth and he's like, I'm hungry.
That's
and he just fucking
intense,
runs off.
My God. Just wonder. Yeah. Just. It's like, whoa, this movie's gonna take a real sharp turn.
Yeah, I've never found that with that substance, that level of that level of just not being on the planet. But yeah, so let's thumb it. How many goat thumbs?
Out of what's the maximum?
10 is the maximum. Because you have 10 fingers. So imagine those 10 fingers were thumbs that are goats.
I'm going to say...
Because goats don't have thumbs.
I'm going to say like 6.5. And I don't think average is like a bad rating.
I think it's very fair. I was going to go 7.
Okay. Yeah.
This is one I haven't seen since it came out in 2009. This was before my daughter was born. I think I still lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in St. Louis in the hood when I watched this one. So it's been a minute, but I was always like, yeah, I enjoyed that.
I just watched it in my hood in St. Louis. All right.
Nice. Yeah, so that's going to do it. And in regards to other people controlling minds or doing other mind stuff, we're going to go watch Scanner Cop.
Yes.
So the Scanner Cop is part of the Scanners film series,
it is the
correct?
4th Scanners film.
Jesus Christ. I've seen Scanners, and that's it.
Well, we'll get into that.
Okay, we'll be right back. Here's a word from our sponsor, which is just a bit of music.
We're gonna get up in it, boy.
Splitting a brewski.
Yeah.
What do we have in here?
Oh, we'll talk about it.
No, you can talk about it now. I think I'm just going to work this in. I think this is quality.
Oh, are you recording?
I think this is quality content. I'm always recording.
I'm like the government. I'm always
because I have various tapes.
This is In Your Head, a cocktail-inspired fruited sour from Third Wheel Brewing. They are out of St. Peters, Missouri.
What cocktail is it inspired by?
It is a zombie cocktail. Ooh. As in cranberries, it's in your head.
Okay.
Yeah.
In your head. So let's see if this gets in my head.
For those that don't know, a zombie is a tiki cocktail.
Yeah.
Which has 3 different rums in it.
They're pretty stout, yeah.
They're amazing. A lot of places when it was invented by Don Comer, I think is the name, like the guy who created like tiki.
Fuck, I don't know what his name is, but
they only serve 2 because they're very high alcohol. But
yeah.
I think it's because when you wake up the next day, you're going,
you feel like a zombie. Yeah, I like it.
All right,
man, it's got a real fruity.
This is
oh, that's nice.
And it's not
it's fresh. It smells fresh. Yeah. You know what I mean? It smells like a fresh squeezed
Give it
juice.
a little try.
Oh, that is a sour.
Yeah.
Well, that's delightful.
Right? I could drink like
what is that?
10
It's
of
like
these.
Got a little nutmeg on the end or something there?
Yeah, because it's
that?
I mean, kind of nutmeg and like tiki cocktails pretty standard. I'm not sure zombie. I have not made one in a long time or had one.
That's pretty delightful. If it's not been evident, we are back.
Hey, we're back.
We watched
A Dinosaur Story.
We watched. Oh fuck! Yes, we're back. A Dinosaur Story. We watched Scanner Cop, which is a R-rated 1994 horror sci-fi film, 1 hour 35-minute runtime. Got a 5.4 out of 10 on IMDb, 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.1 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and 89% of Google users like this movie. And so did I. This is directed by Perry David. Is that, pronounce that correctly?
Sure. He was a producer on the first Scanners.
Okay, gotcha. Stars Daniel Quinn, Darlene Flugel, Richard Lynch, Cindy Pass, Hillary Shepard, Richard Grove, and Luca Baravici. Is that pretty much it?
Sure.
No, I also need to mention Mark Rolston and Gary Hudson.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the rest of that'll pretty much
I think
do it.
Gary Hudson, you should mention, he's the doctor who has the visions.
Yeah.
We'll get to him in a minute because you're gonna probably know what he's from.
Oh, and also probably Wayne Grace. I think that's the stepdad, the adopted father.
Okay,
cop
yeah,
guy. The guy with the mustache guy. You know who I'm talking about.
Mustache.
Jeremy, what would you say Scanner Cop is about?
So, shockingly, Scanner Cop is the fourth entry in the unexpected Scanners franchise. And what you have here is a kid who is a scanner himself.
Classic
in a
case.
Police,
Classic case
yeah,
scanner.
police standoff. His father is killed, and the cop whose life he saves decides to adopt the kid. Flash forward 15 years later, Sam, who is Daniel, whatever his name is, has become a cop himself, following in his adoptive father's footsteps.
Yeah.
And then there is...
Wait. Start over introducing the characters.
Okay, so you have...
Shit. Hold on.
You're introducing them, or I am?
Hold on.
You're good, baby.
Yeah, go back and reintroduce them again.
Shit.
What do you got?
So, are we talking about Sam here, who is the...
Just all the characters.
But you did it. Oh, fuck, I'm not even in the right place.
Fucking how pumped is this game?
Starting for your 1994 Scanner Cops, we have Daniel Quinn, Darlene Flugel, Richard Grove, Mark Ralston, Richard Lynch, Hillary Shepard, James Horan, and starting in point guard, we have Gary Roadhouse Hudson.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
it's
fine.
I didn't want to do too many characters. Actors. I thought it would be too.
Any excuse for me to pull that out, and I'm on board with it. It doesn't take much. I'm a hair trigger with the Chicago Bulls theme. Anytime.
We're similar in age. You don't have to explain. I get it.
Yeah, it's like a Charlotte Hornets starter jacket.
Like,
you know, if you know, you know. You know, okay. So this movie is fucking delightful.
Yes,
I liked a lot of this, despite probably missing 15 to 20 minutes in the middle because I was making some eggs.
You know, I don't want to sound like it is. I feel like it is a movie bookended. There are really, I think, fun.
I feel like I
scenes
didn't miss
in
it. I feel like I didn't miss anything.
But the opening is so fucking crazy, and the end is also matches that energy. That
it's mind blowing.
The first time I saw this, I texted a friend who had seen it. And I was like, "This is like a police procedural," because in a way, that's what it is. There's
kinda.
You know, these psychic factors to it. Meets like that is bookended by just complete insanity, and he goes, yes, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, it's wild. Lot of fun to like visually take in.
Yeah, and that's what is this being again a Scanner sequel. You know, growing up, I think I watched I watched Scanners in high school. Honestly, didn't really get it when I first saw it. Kind of talked through it, and that's okay because you go back, revisit, find out what it's about, and then I switched video stores. I went from a Blockbuster because they kind of sucked to Hollywood Video. And walking in the horror section, I was like, I'm sorry, there's how many Scanners movies? What is a Scanner Cop? What is a Scanner Cop 2?
Yeah, you told me there were 5 of these, and I was like, what the fuck? What?
And you can argue...
I didn't even connect the dots that Scanner Cop might be related to Scanners.
Right. And it's one of those, if they were not next to each other on the video shelf with the sequels in between, I probably would have never been like, oh, this is a Scanners
part of the
sequel?
Scanners series. Yeah. Weird choice.
It's a weird choice. I don't know the full kind of, 2 and 3 got made because everything has a sequel, even if you don't think it does. Everything does.
Yeah, back then for sure.
And then, this Pierre David, who directed it, was a producer in the original one. So this is, I don't know if none of the sequels are really connected besides Scanner Cop 2, which came out the next in 95.
Okay.
Which I guess if they ever make a Men Still Staring at Goats, we could do Scanner Cop 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be men also like still, yeah, that's what it would be called.
Two staring, two goats.
The men who still stare at goats.
2 men, 2 staring, 2 goats. There we go.
Okay. All right. I guess I get on board with that. I had seen Scanners, the original one, years ago. Like, long fucking time ago. And I didn't quite get the appeal. And then I think I watched it again a couple of months later at the behest of one of my friends. And I had more fun with it on a second viewing.
Yeah.
But I did not know 2, 3, 4, and 5 existed. So that's fucking bizarre.
And this is one of those where I think they're all, I don't know if any of them are great necessarily. They're not, you can't compare it to the first film, but they're all way better than they have any right to be.
That is true.
This one, so we have, Sam, who is, his dad's a scanner, comes in the cops. I don't think I've kind of stopped there where we're saying, but you have these civilians later when Sam himself has become sworn in as a police officer. He's got a partner. These civilians start killing cops.
Oh yeah.
And it's like they're hallucinating when they do it, you find out. Including I kept saying that actor's name, but I can't think. The doctor, who's the second guy, who sees like this crazy skull, like kind of like sees Ghost Rider. That's what he looks like.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, Skeletor type. And he kills at least one cop. Well, that's the bouncer from Roadhouse at the beginning, who's like, "You're gonna be my Tuesday night special." Is he the one who's having sex with a girl? Like, he's like, "I'm on break. Stay on break."
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I recognize him from. Anyways, so
I will say everybody in this movie looks familiar, but I don't think I actually know them from anything particularly.
And it is like the first film and the others. It's a Canadian production, like it's got to be. Like,
Look, if you watch
Daniel
this movie,
Quinlan says sorry.
If you didn't get this, this was fucking Canadian when you watched it. I feel sorry for you.
What made me, because you sent me a list of movies saying I would like to, basically here's some things I want to talk about. What sticks out to you?
Yeah.
And so I chose Men Who Stare at Goats, and then it was like immediately what would work with that. And first movie I thought of really, I don't know, would have worked as well. Then I was like, this was the second one I thought of, and I was like, this is perfect because it is people with psychic abilities, if you've never seen, we're talking like everyone's seen Scanners, and I don't know if that's true.
Yeah. So explain what is a scanner?
Scanner
are there people, right?
Someone with psychic abilities.
Boom.
And how the original one starts is there is a person who is giving a demonstration of their own psychic abilities.
What's it called?
And
It's not telekinesis. It's telepathy.
Telepathy.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to read your mind. And he picks a man out of the crowd, and it's Michael Ironside. And he's like, well, I'm going to read your mind. And as he does, Michael Ironside is now what they call scanning him. And the dude's head blows up. That's like one of the big things. First 5 minutes of that film, there's an incredible head explosion.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not really, so there's, in that first movie, there's him who's kind of the one trying to organize scanners to be like a uprising. And then you have kind of the protagonist who figures out he's won. And they face off, but not really. It's like astral plane type
mind
stuff.
off.
Yeah, mind off. Do you mind? I don't.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, so that's kind of what a scanner does.
Yes.
And
so in this one, scanners are kind of all over. The Sam, who's the main character, his father was one. He is, this is at a point where scanners are treated, they are medicated. He is off his meds. He's having like an episode because he's hearing all interference. It's kind of like early.
It's like Charles Xavier, X-Men.
Yeah, or even like how Superman has like the super hearing. Like how does he filter that out? And he can't filter it. He's just
being go to the Fortress of Solitude.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, fucking A.
He's just.
I know you know.
Oh, I know. No, we'll get into soups. It's okay. He's just being bombarded by all these people's thoughts. Having a classic freak out with like the special effects in that opening scene with like
just
coming
a classic,
literally coming out of his head.
A classic Bruce Almighty, literally has like baby skulls coming out of his face.
I guess he could do.
So the practical effects in this are beyond fucking exactly what I'm looking for.
That's
in a movie like this. Like I want something that's just silly, gross, wacky, crazy ideas. And yeah, I think those 3 babies' heads coming out of that grown adult man's forehead was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I liked the dude with like when he's melting part of his skull, he's melting his like the flesh off his head at the end, and he's got that big metal plate, and he's like, "You can't scan me." Dude, I'm loving that. I'm loving that shit.
So the guy who is brainwashing normal citizens to kill police officers is another type of scanner. And that is played by Richard Lynch, who was the bad guy in Invasion USA. Which I don't know if you've seen the Chuck Norris movie.
I don't think Invasion USA. Man, maybe when I was a kid.
Yeah, but
my old man watched a lot of Chuck Norris.
Yeah, no, so I'm sure you've seen it in that capacity, but you should rewatch it because he is so good in that movie too. He's also in a.
What's a good movie it would pair well with?
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking and I can't think of. Joke's on you. It is the good one. No.
Fair enough. I guess the bill's on me. It's a joke for later. It's a bonus content thing. Don't worry.
Richard Lynch was also in a late 80s kind of Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff called Bad Dreams, where he plays a cult leader.
Ooh.
He was, I don't know at what point in his life he was in a fire, so he is like a burn victim survivor.
Nice.
And that's why his appearance may seem a little odd.
Yeah.
But really great, like, character actor.
Fucking A.
He's I don't think I've seen anything he's bad in, but he does so well as the foil to Sam. And then we have his assistant, who you call the Snake Lady, which you kind of called.
Because she hissed.
She did something before that.
She was snaky looking anyway. She had like leather, and she was like
a sneaky
kind of making a wet spaghetti noodle motion. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
she was doing that, and then she
But
was
then she actually like one of her first lines of dialogue hissed, and you're like, before that, you said, "Is she a snake?" And I go, "I don't remember. Maybe."
Does she go into a mind palace and she's a giant cobra with boobs? Is that what's going on?
Which is weird because
you know what? Guys will just see that and say, "Hell yeah."
I just watched a movie from the same company that put this out that had a snake in the finale, like a demon snake. What was
is it?
Night of the Demons 2.
Oh fuck! I have seen that one.
Yeah,
a long ass time ago. Boy, I bet I was like 17 years old when
and
I
that
saw
was the same. I saw it as a teenager.
God
just watched it today.
Wow.
Just working and watching Night of the Demons.
Just
2.
working and watching fucking silly old shit. Dreaming up. Here's what you do: is you get yourself a joke journal, and while you're watching old shit like that, every time you think of a good burn, write it down.
All my journals are jokes. I don't know.
That speaks to me. That's why it's funny because it's true. It speaks to me.
Everything I write down is a joke. My whole life's a joke.
I'm having too much fun with that internally. Anyway, the
special effects I did want to bring up just because it is a somewhat local legend. That is Belleville, Illinois' own John Carl Beekler.
John Carl Beekler.
Yeah, he did special effects for as far back as JCB, baby.
All right.
Reanimator. He did Dolls, From Beyond. He directed and did the special effects for Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. That is the one with the psychic girl.
Oh, nice.
And that was the one that has the most cuts from the MPAA because they were like, it's too weird, too gory. From Belleville, Illinois, which, if you don't know, is about 30 minutes east of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And
boy,
he passed away a few years ago. I think it was cancer.
Belleville was shady back when I lived up in St. Louis. Is it still shady up there?
I don't think it's as shady.
You don't think
I'm
it's
actually going
bad?
to talk about Belleville and what I've been watching. So, or what you're watching.
Whoa.
Not trying to get ahead of you.
Whoa. We'll get there, big fella. Don't even worry about it. How many? Okay, let's go ahead and thumb this thing. We've done like 20 minutes on. Well, we did like 5 minutes on beer and 15 minutes on this. I think it's appropriate. How many exploding
heads?
Okay. So the thing in the end when he's like trying to scan the guy with the metal plate in his head, and he's like, and the other guy's like,
How many veiny scans?
How many veiny arms? Like when they're fucking arm locked or whatever.
Yeah. Out of 10?
How many veiny arm thumbs out of 10 thumbs you give that?
Oh, veiny arm thumbs. I'm gonna say 8 to 8.5.
8 to 8.5. I'm gonna go 9.75.
Oh damn!
This is about as close. Like this is the kind of if I could get my old lady sweet talked into watching a fucking just a schlocky old movie. This would be one that I find this to be a crowd pleaser. Nailed it. Look at that.
You nailed it.
Got it. I think this is a crowd pleaser, man. This is a lot of fun to watch.
It is. And it's one, again, you would never be like, what the hell is Scanner Cop?
It's silly, but it's got enough substance to be like, okay, all right. I'm on board with this.
Do we know if it's streaming on anything?
Oh, I didn't even look. Let me see if you can find fucking Scanner Cop. Hold up. Wait a minute.
We watched the 4K / Blu-ray disc from Vinegar Syndrome.
That's right. We spoiled.
Well, I was going to say, if you wait till November for their Black Friday sale, you can get it half price.
Looks like you can watch it on Plex.
Boom, baby.
And that's about it. All right. Anyway. What you been watching?
Hey, what you watching?
Well,
I like everybody I know that their name starts with a J. I've called him J-Bone forever.
That's
Jared, Justin, Jeremy.
You're allowed. Oh, huh. Interesting.
J Bear. How about J Bear?
I mean, Jer Bear.
Jer Bear?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, back in August, I went to the Belleville Skyview Drive-In for a brand new event they did called the Iconathon.
Is that the thing you were like posting on Instagram and
Yeah.
I commented on it? And I was like, oh, what are you seeing?
So that is, I've been a few times to Skyview. It is about 30 minutes away from where I live. You know, not far, but not that close.
It's a little further away than my drive-in is.
Yeah, where I think you go to Starlight and Cadet.
Yeah, we go to Starlight
and
Cadet. It's like
the same
20 minutes.
And that's still an hour from where I live.
Right.
Because I've looked, I was like, I want to try this place out.
Oh, dude, yeah, we should make an evening of it. You know what I mean?
We'd probably do one movie depending on the night.
Yeah, and then like we do it on a weekend or whatever, and then you and your lady come back here and we'll fucking party, have a big fire in the backyard or something like that.
We'll figure something out.
Do a little something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be.
I'm
cool.
not gonna go see the Taylor Swift concert. I'm glad it's happening. I hope drive-ins make a lot of money for it. All the ones I know of are doing it, and good for them.
Ours has got fucking amazing like food and snacks and shit.
Nice.
Their food's not bad.
3,000. And then so I did Screen 2 because anytime there's a 3D movie, I'm gonna fucking be at that screen.
You do? I hate 3D movies. I bet the older ones are better though.
Well, so, and here's the thing about seeing a 3D movie in a drive-in outside. I don't know if it works as well. We were pretty centered for that one. So we,
if you're not centered, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work as well. Airplane hadn't seen in a while. It was, still funny as fuck.
I fucking love Airplane. I love that brand of comedy.
Yeah.
I
picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
Yeah.
Great time with that one. It came from outer space. That is Jack Arnold, who is one of the sci-fi legends. He also directed Creature from the Black Lagoon, Revenge of the Creature, Tarantula.
Is that one of the first movies to use that like iconic flying saucer sound bit?
It's very close. So that was it came from outer space. So I want to say it was 53. And the first one to use the theremin, I think is what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Is The Day the Earth Stood Still, which is one of my all-time favorite movies.
That's a good flick, man.
Yeah.
That's like one of the first. That is probably one of the first like 5 like older films that I ever saw, and I was like, wait, some of these older movies are actually quite good.
Yeah.
Like it's more important on the story and how it's presented and less important on like how it actually looks. The story and how it's presented is more important than the actual visual spectacle. As far as like how much it can grip you, you know what I mean?
It had been a long time since I'd seen It Came from Outer Space.
To make cocktails.
So I went with friends, and like one of them brought, we all brought beer because like, why would you not?
Yeah.
I did drive out there, so I didn't drink as much, but I had 6 drinks.
Me and my old lady take turns
between 2 movies. How many times do you think I went to the bathroom that day?
Oh God!
At the drive-in,
one. Yeah.
The rest I sweated out.
It's so fucking hot.
It was so hot.
Just nasty. Like let's get sweaty edition. You know what I mean?
It was, yeah. So had a great time. About midnight, we stayed a little bit for Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. A friend was falling asleep. I was like, all right, let's get out of here. Went back.
Did you pick
Saturday.
him up and carry him to bed?
No, I made him drive back to the county.
Okay, well, it sucks
look,
to me.
You gotta be a grown up. Look,
yeah, that's true. It's true. Nobody's gonna grab you out of the back seat, carry you inside, and tuck you in bed.
So then Saturday, the 26th, also did Screen 2 because they were showing. Okay, in Screen 1, it was The Blob, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, UHF. I think
I haven't seen
You haven't seen the Weird Al movie?
UHF, the Weird Al movie.
Oh,
You talking about the one on like Peacock or whatever?
No, not the Weird Al story, like the biopic starring Daniel Radcliffe. I'm saying
Yeah.
Weird Al made a movie back in '89 called UHF, where he gets his uncle owns an old TV, a local.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Okay.
I haven't thought about that in ages.
You were scaring me. Anyways, so Saturday the 26th, that was Screen 1.
You just fucking recovered a core memory.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I was on Screen 2 again because they had another 3D movie. So it was Airplane, Creature from the Black Lagoon in 3D.
Okay. We'll take turns on who's the DD, and the other one of us will just get wrecked. I do normally prefer, if we have room for it in the cooler, I prefer like a cocktail setup because I don't have to pee as much.
I get it.
You know what I mean? Those
Do
beers,
you,
if
do
they
you pre-batch or do you like
pre-batch right now, man.
Pre-batch cocktails?
Oh fuck no!
Oh dude,
No,
we'll
I
talk
mix
about
right
it.
there on the spot.
I know, but
I'll be like fucking
save time and space.
That's also true. That's also
depending
true.
on the weather. If it's like cooler out, like cool, do whatever. But like when it's hot as fuck, it's like I don't care.
Yeah, I probably could do that too.
Yeah,
Just mix a bunch of cocktails in one of my big. Got one of those big jugs.
doesn't have to be a big jug. You can put it back in a bottle. We'll talk.
That's true. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll
later.
talk. I love batch of good cocktail. Anyway, so I saw Blazing Saddles. That was
God
my screen.
damn.
Creature from the Black Lagoon 3D. And I did not stay for Metropolis because everybody was tired, and I don't blame them. One of my friends works Saturday mornings. He wakes up at like 5 a.m. You know?
Okay.
That's like a movie starting at midnight when you're half an hour plus away from home.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles, fucking love it. Haven't seen it in forever. Kind of like Airplane. There's the whole like, oh, if they couldn't make it today because people would complain. It's like, yeah, because they think it's too woke because it stars a non-white guy in the lead.
Right. Right.
Anyways,
oh, Jesus.
but Creature from the Black Lagoon, again, another movie, one of my all-time favorites. I've
That's
actually,
a good one, man.
I still can't believe it, but back in 2007, I saw it in 3D at the Tivoli at midnight, their midnight movie series. So this is my second time seeing this movie in 3D, and it is a stone cold stunner. Like,
Nice.
if you get a chance to see an older movie in 3D, go fucking see it, because it is
Heralded as one of the greatest TV series ever written. So I've decided to finally go back and watch that. I'm about halfway through season 4, I think.
okay.
And I'm probably like a quarter of the way through season 4. And man, I am really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. Good show. Oh, shit, beer coming back. Got it. Okay. Go ahead, going on. What do we got here?
So this is Fat Orange Cat Brewing,
Oh, this smells
and this
really
is called
nice.
Trick or Treat Kittens. It is a double IPA made with candy corn and artificial colors.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
man.
did you get that sniff on
the-
on mic? I hope so. Yeah.
Oh, that whiff is fucking out of this world.
But
You know
I
what?
saw this. I was like, this is one to try.
I
with you.
detest candy corn, but this smells amazing, and I got a little bit of head
We're about
and
to
just
find
tasted
out.
it, and it was quite delightful. Wow. Yeah, that translates.
Oh,
to,
that's really fucking good.
that translates to beer way better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Wow. What's that called? What's it called again?
So it is Trick or Treat Kittens.
Trick or
Little
Treat.
label here.
It's just neat. A thing that I really liked when I was, I don't know, 14, 15.
Uh-huh.
To now see him doing this, and I'm like, this is silly, man. I'm loving it. Like, this dude's a train wreck.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Awesome.
So I'd seen a couple episodes of that. Now I'm watching Breaking Bad, and yeah, when I think that's over, we're gonna do El Camino, and then we're gonna go do Better Call Saul. But I believe Better Call Saul is still running and might actually be longer than Breaking Bad.
It concluded maybe earlier this year.
Is it also 5 seasons?
I don't know, but because I've never watched Breaking Bad, but part of my is like, even if I I think I'll like it, but it's like I can get to Better Call Saul. Like that's because I do want to watch that.
Here's the order that I watched them in. Season 1 of Breaking Bad, the movie El Camino, 4 episodes of Better Call Saul, Season 2, 3, 4 and 3/4 of Breaking Bad. I've watched them all out of order, but you know what? It doesn't fucking matter. I get it. Okay. I get it. I get where we're going. One thing I do want to, I want to fucking get on a pedestal for a minute and talk about this. I watched One Piece.
Oh, okay.
The Netflix series.
Is this the live action adaptation?
It is a live action adaptation of the longest running anime series in history.
Oh.
And I gotta tell you, man, I've never seen the anime because I watched one episode of the anime and I was like, this is not for me because I don't care for the animation. That's half of why I show up.
I get that.
To watch anime is I want to see the cool fucking the art. That's part of what I like. And I didn't care for the art. It's just not my style. To me it feels sloppy. Like make some adjustments because this is a live action thing versus a video game or a fucking anime or a manga.
Yeah. All right.
I love it though. Cannot recommend it enough. If you're on the fence and you're like, I don't know if I'd be into that or not, watch the first episode because you'll be in. You'll be like, this is what? Wow. And God, I hope it gets renewed for a second season.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really hope it gets renewed because Netflix has dropped the ball on every other anime property they've touched. Like, regardless of whether it was actually good or not, none of them hit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they've done some anime series that are actually anime, but I'm talking about the live action stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
The Cowboy Bebop series, everybody fucking hated it. I thought it was great.
I still haven't watched that.
I really liked it, but I love John Cho.
Oh, of course.
And I like the way that they stayed true enough where, like, even some of the camera shots are the same as the frames in the original manga. Like, I liked it, man. I thought it was cool. I was like, man, this is a cool homage to a thing I really like.
Nice. Actually, there's a series I want to get kind of on a soapbox about that's new. I was watching on HBO.
What do you got?
It is My Adventures with Superman.
Oh, yeah. I have been wanting to check this out.
And part of me doesn't understand why it is a like Adult Swim series because it is a reboot where you have, Clark, Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane as interns at the Daily Planet.
Thank you for specifying to our listeners who Jimmy Olsen is.
Of course.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I know. Yeah. I know, but I will forget to be like, for everybody else, who the fuck is Jimmy Olsen? Because it just sounds like a regular ass dude.
Jimmy Olsen, was photographer. And this one, he and Clark are roommates and like best friends.
Yeah.
They, start same day as another intern at the Daily Planet.
Jimmy, he gets up to a lot of hijinks
Lois
in his
Lane.
day.
And yeah, so this Jimmy's kind of similar where he has a like popular kind of YouTube type show where he does like conspiracy theories. So I'm like, I'm tying it all in, baby. You see? Yeah. And this is such a refreshing back to basics take on Superman that he is friendly. He is kind. There's no type of we're trying to make him edgy.
Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah, it's like a Christopher Reeve. It's
kind
like
of a bumbling
Christopher Reeve, George Reeves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clark is very bumbling, very unassuming.
Sorry. Excuse me.
I cannot remember the actor's name, but it is the same voice actor who does. Oh shit! What's his name? He's the main character in Lower Decks.
Does he have a cup of coffee and Lois has a stack of papers and they bump into each other around a corner?
It's not quite like that. It's a little more. So they're all like 22, fresh out of college. This is like their first. This is their internship. Yeah, they're interns. But Lois is like, no, I'm a reporter. And it's like, oh, okay, I know you're not a reporter. She keeps trying to be like, no, I can be better than this. It's, I believe, 10 or 11 episodes. It's all
Pretty
up
good.
on HBO. I think it's great. I think it is. It's one cute because it's also about the relationship between Lois and Clark.
Did you like the Harley Quinn DC show?
I do. I have not been
animated. I watched like 5 episodes and I was like, "This is money."
Oh,
and then
so
I just
I
stopped
am
watching it. I forgot.
I'm not up to date, but they're on the 4th season, and I've probably 3 to 4 episodes in on that season. Harley Quinn was one of those shows where the trailers did a really disservice to me because I was like, "This looks like shit."
It just seemed like
It seemed like a cheap,
a cheap knockoff spin-off of the Batman animated series.
or of like the Arkham, or just kind of the lazy, or no, really like the kind of DC extended universe.
This beer is fucking delicious.
I am really surprised they like this as much as and I like candy corn, but I'm surprised they like this.
I don't. I fucking hate candy corn. This is phenomenal though. Sorry.
But Harley Quinn, I had a friend who was like, "No, give it a chance," and it's again a show that has character growth, like it is not just the same DC stories you are expecting, and it's not just. I just mentioned Lower Decks. I was turned off by Lower Decks because I thought it was Star Trek fart jokes.
Yeah,
and that's what I thought Harley Quinn was going to be, and in a way, Harley Quinn is that. But it is still has development, growth,
depth,
yes, and depth, and that is, I think, I don't know why I was so opposed to it, but My Adventures with Superman. I mean, it is a romance, so it is anime style, which may turn off some people.
That looks like Invincible.
You know, if it makes nerds on the internet,
have you seen Invincible?
I haven't, but I've read it.
It's really good. Oh, okay.
I know.
Well,
same
I
know, but I do want to watch it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a really good voice acting. Stephen Yeun's awesome.
He is.
Yeah,
but I really just enjoy this kind of
J.K. Simmons and everybody
back to
else
basics. And it's sad that it's taken so long to feel like
what I always liked about
mainstream. Now I haven't watched the like CW Superman and Lois show, which I hear, but that is them. That's a whole different thing. But just that it's like nice. He doesn't have to be anything. He can just be himself, and that's kind of who he's figured out. Kind of what draws in. So they call it Day Zero, and that's when Kal-El Clark fell to Earth. But that's also the same day you had people from another planet trying to come to Earth.
Yeah.
And if you know DC and planets and people who conquer, you might know who I'm talking about.
Crisis on Infinite
Might
Earths.
be not quite that, but it's a boom tube if you know what I'm saying, and I think you do.
I got you.
Yeah.
On the D.
So they think got you on the DDS. That's right. So they think that Superman is related to those aliens, those invading forces.
Right. Also,
and it's just tragic that happened same day.
I just want to go on public record and say out loud that I really like the nomenclature for boom tube.
Dude.
Like, yeah. What else would you call it?
I think that's some...
if you're not a scientist and you saw it happen, you'd be like, came out of a boom tube.
That's some Jack Kirby shit, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
if they got one of my neighbors on the news, they'd be like, hey, I seen him come out that boom tube.
The sky lit up, and there all of a sudden there's a boom tube, and there you see some aliens coming through with spaceships.
You hear this boom and
parademons. I can't believe it.
Big old teams, and then that song started to play, and then Wonder Woman come out, and she.
That would be pretty goodness.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ!
I really like that, and
good stuff though, huh?
If I could, yeah,
I'm gonna check that out.
I really enjoy it. If you have any interest, and I'm kind of honestly exhausted by comics, like comic adaptations.
I'm getting a little like fatigued.
Yeah, but this was
you shot,
Boimler. That's the dude. That's the character's name from Lower Decks.
They shot their fucking wad. I haven't seen it.
Oh, dude, do you like Star Trek?
I
That's
will
fine.
tell you this. I have watched all of the Star Wars movies up to the new trilogy. I've seen the first one and part of the second one.
I'm talking about Star Trek.
No, I know you are. Star Trek, I watched... Oh, help me out. Star Trek...
Discovery? Strange New Worlds?
No.
Picard? Voyager?
It was Picard. It was a series with Picard. God, it was on right before X-Files.
Are you talking about Next Generation?
I think it was Next Gen, yeah.
No,
I probably watched
X-Files
more...
was on Fox, and then Next Generation was on CBS.
I probably watched more one of those two.
Yeah.
Whichever one came on right before X-Files, because I always watched X-Files, so I would always catch the last 10 minutes of Star Trek.
Okay.
But I never really it was never my show. I was into X-Files.
And that's fine.
I'm not opposed to it. I just missed it. One time I binged the entire remade series of Battlestar Galactica in 4 days.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's 6 seasons. There's a bunch of it.
Oh shit.
And they're long as fuck.
Yeah.
And they were good. I
haven't
liked
seen any of that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good folding laundry TV.
Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's oh shit, I got a lunch break.
I don't know. Ask Angela Lansbury. And there we go. It's full circle.
This is like Celine Dion, and it's all coming back to me now.
Fucking A. I think that's going to do it for us. If you would, if you made it this far through the show, leave us a like. You can do it right there in an app on your podcatcher of choice or YouTube if you're on the YouTubes.
Oh, we're on YouTube? My voice is on YouTube? That's weird.
I appreciate you holding people hostage physically and making them listen to this show.
Hey-o.
And subscribing and liking it and all that good stuff. You can leave us a review also on Facebook. We're not
on Facebook.
We're not reviewed on Facebook, but one person reviewed us. But I think you have to have a minimum amount to whatever.
Oh shit! I'll review you.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm not a fucking Facebook guy. I need an intern. That's what I need.
Well, you work from home. You're going to be one eventually.
Fuck.
Can I just shout out real quick? I got an event coming up in October.
Absolutely, yeah. Go for it.
So October 20th. That's a Friday. The Heavy Anchor in St. Louis, Missouri. I do host with Destroy the Brain Horror Trivia Night. That is a thrilling night of 5 rounds of questions plus the 6th bonus round.
I'll be there. I think I'm going to dress up as Frank Reynolds dressed as Man Spider.
And so, since it is our October show, we go all out for Halloween. We're going to have Halloween themed rounds. We're going to have a costume. Basically, if your team is in costumes, you get 100 points.
Yeah.
It is $10 per team. Doors open at 7.
A lot of fun. We went last year.
Yeah, that was great.
We went last year and it was a blast. Really, really.
I think we talked about this, but you showed up as
I showed up as Dale from Tucker and Dale versus
Evil. Yeah, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and then next door somebody had rented the Arcaden. And they were showing Tucker and Dale.
Arcaden?
It is Arcaden.
Wow.
And it is Tucker.
I said Arcaden the whole time.
That's okay, baby.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad they're also open to that.
They know. Somebody had rented out Arcaden and was showing Tucker and Dale versus Evil. And I actually dragged Danny over there. Was like, "Hey, college kids.
We got your friend."
Friday, October 20th, Horror Trivia Night. Working hard. Well, this episode's going to come out much later, so it doesn't sound like I'm working. It's of course you're working hard then, but we're going at it right now, coming up with questions. So it's not the easiest, but it's always fun.
Hell yeah. So if you're in St. Louis or near St. Louis, it's October 20th at the Arcaden.
No, it's at the Heavy Anchor.
Oh, it's a Heavy Anchor.
Which is directly next door to the Arcaden.
Arcaden Cinema.
It's all good, baby.
Yeah, you get it there. It's a lot of fun, man. It's a
You
lot of
can
fun.
register your team on
I
Horror
think
Trivia Night.
you can bounce back and forth between the two places. Am I right?
Well,
they're
gonna have
it's an outdoor
Hysteria Fest.
outdoor cinema that is connected to a bar.
It was. So now Arcon has opened their indoor space as well, and they kind of do both. Like on weekends, so tonight they're doing a Wesley. This month they're doing Snipes Timber.
Ooh.
They're showing Blade, and they're showing Blade 2.
Hell yeah, they are. What about fucking Trinity?
Dude.
Just leaving it out to dry, huh?
Blade
Fucking
Trinity
haters.
deserves to be watched in a hotel when you're hungover.
Haters gonna hate.
Which is how I saw it, and that is the perfect low stakes way to watch
And
Blade Trinity.
Gators gonna gate.
And I'm a Gator, baby. He was a Gator boy. She said, "See you later, boy." He couldn't chomp enough for her.
Those are all jokes we made on by the time this comes out last week's episode.
Oh, I bet. Yes. Yeah, did you listen to the whole, have you seen the movie yet?
No.
So it's like spoiled for you.
Man, whatever.
But I don't know.
I can put all of that in the back rooms.
Okay, because it is like
I can put all that in the back rooms and watch it as a bright-eyed fucking 13-year-old.
That's awesome. I mean, that's actually a movie I saw at Sundance and watched it again.
It's A24's highest grossing film ever.
Yeah.
Highest grossing film since Hereditary.
I thought it. Yeah, it's something. It's either that or like made more than Hereditary. It's something. I forget.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Like when I saw it, I was like really into it. Saw it kind of, then was like into it, and then I was like kind of thinking about it. I was like, oh shit, this movie's gonna make like a lot of money, isn't it? And I was like, yeah,
I'm very excited to watch it. That and Mutant Mayhem, and I don't know, there's like two other Oppenheimer. Still haven't seen. I really want to watch that. Yeah, but anyway, more on that next week. In the meantime, if you would like to contribute to the show, you can always buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. We have Patreon content, Patreon/It's Just Two Movies. You can contact us on social networks at It's Just Two Movies or on TikTok at It's Just Two Movies Pod. You can also shoot us an email if you want to get in contact with the show. Shit, we're not done. I had a listener mail segment.
Okay, let's go, baby. I was wondering if anybody anybody has questions, but
So,
I did not want to be presumptuous.
I'm going to close the rest of the show out, and then we're going to do the listener mail, and then we'll just abruptly close the show.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah, you can contact us and all that stuff. Anyway, you think we are watching an AI MCU in 10 years? That is by
comics, runs of comics, because that's still what they're doing, whether or not we think about that. And they're going to be like, okay, here's what happens in these issues of Captain America.
It's weird that they don't seem to have figured out that you can take the storyline of a comic run and make it a different thing, and it's the same amount of work as it is to make it the same thing.
Yes.
Only in making it the same thing, you're doing a disservice to some people who prefer the original thing.
Yeah.
Like, make it its own thing. It's fine. And it makes small departures here and there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they're pretty much painted by the numbers. And if anything, it's toned down, and it's just, man, frankly, this whole fucking phase of the MCU has got me like,
if I am, and part of me is like, okay, I'm going to be completely honest. Part of me is like 50, almost 50, and like still watching MCU. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That's too much. I think it kind of needs to just blow up.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Marvel adaptations can't be happening, because they will be, assuming we're still here.
They're Disney's Blade, though. It's gonna
not
be
arguing that.
It's gonna be dog shit, and that's what I'm upset about. Though is it's gonna be so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be good, but I don't think that it's going to be. And why would I make that assumption?
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Net.
Nothing but net.
But why would I assume that it's going to be that
Yeah.
bad? I don't know. The last year and a half of movies that they put out, they're just crap, man. They're just bad. They're lazy.
You know what? I did like Guardians
The VFX
3.
workers are overdone. They're like, oh, give me a sound for a laser blaster. And they do it fucking 800 times. And they go, okay, we'll take the first one.
I saw that they petitioned a union, or motion to unionize.
Good.
Good on them.
Good. Oh, they weren't gonna take a pizza party? That's too bad. Okay.
Do we have any other questions?
We're getting way off topic.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the end of the show. And as
Okay.
we say at the end of every episode of this show,
Hey,
yeah,
just 2 movies.
that is what we say.
Let's watch 2 more.
Okay.
Okay.
Good night, folks.
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that phone talk. We're a one-eyed Batman.
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob. We don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin businesses are booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
Lamplighter Productions for our artwork. Oh, yeah, I definitely want to throw out a thanks to Dave, who takes care of our YouTube platform, and Justin, who has started doing our TikTok. You can find us on TikTok at Just Two Movies Pod. Yeah, so hit us up on socials and tell your friends and leave us a like if you could. That's the show. All right.
So much easier than last time.
It's because you were on a different planet last time? Is that
Yes.
why? We had to wait for the satellite ping?
Took a couple